Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Person, Mr. Dr. Andika Harudin SCPM Hum, as a lecturer of Morphology and Sintax in the class of PBIA 2024 for academic year 2025-2026. Excuse me, sir. I'm Firkoh Nadia Ala with student ID number 204000124 and 006, and allow me to answer assignment 1, the key concepts of morphology. First question: what is morphology and how does it bridge the gap between sound and meaning in language? According to linguists, morphology is the branch of linguistics that studies the internal structure of words and the rule governing their formation. Yule 2010 part 63 defines morphology as the study of forms. It analyzes all those basic elements in a language which are used in word formation. Meanwhile, Katamba 2993 part of 17 states that morphology is concerned with the internal structure of word and the rules by which words are formed. Similarly, from Kim, Bradman, and Hyans 2018 part of 88 describe morphology as the study of the structure of words and the rule for word formation, while Helpless May and Sim 2010 part 1 emphasizes that it examines the internal structure of words and the systematic form meaning correspondence between them. Thus, morphology can be understood as the study of how words form and how their form relate to meaning. Morphology can be seen a bridge between phonology as the sound and semantics or meaning, not based on a single sentence, but as compilation drawn from basic linguist studies. Katamba 2993 defines a morpheme as a grammatical unit which has a both form or phonological shape and meaning or semantic content. This definition highlights that morphology is the study of word forms and their relationship to both semantics and phonological function. In other words, morpheme simultaneously carry a phonological form or sound shape and semantics function or meaning. From this perspective, morphology stand in the middle, linking sound structure with meaning. The word dog illustrates how morphology connects sounds and meaning. Phonetically, it is realized as dogs. Dogs can consist of two morphemes, the free morphemes dog and the bound morphemes plural as. The combination of these two morphemes does not only change the phonological form of the word, but also modifies its semantic contents, so that dogs means more than one dog. This example shows how morphology operates at the interaction of phonology and semantics, linking the sound structure of word to its meaning. Second question: how did the field of morphology evolve from classical language studies to modern linguistic theories? Morphology first emerged in classical language studies particularly in Greek and Latin, with philosophers and grammarians sought to classify words and explain example patterns of inflection. So that at the time, morphology was essential, identical with traditional grammar. In the 19th century, the field developed with comparative philology with figures such as French book. With use morphological patterns to trace geographical relationship among Indo or European language. Entering the 20th century, structured linguistic pioneered by Cesar viewed language as a system of science, and Bloomfield emphasized the analysis of morphology as the smallest unit. According to Bloomfield 2933. Later developments come from Chomsky's generative theory 2957, which placed morphology as part of the mental rule for word formation, followed by lexical morphology and distribute morphology. According to Hall and Marin 2993, which consider morphology as the interference connection syntax, morphology and semantics. In modern linguistics, morphology is thus understood as the study of the systematic relationship between form and meaning in words. And Help Us Math and Sims 2010 Part 1 state that morphology is the study of the systematic relationship between from the meaning and word. And Askatamba 2993 Part of 20 notes a morpheme is grammatical unit which has both from phonological shape and meaning or semantic contents. Third question: why is phonological knowledge important for English language teachers, especially in terms of vocabulary instruction and error correction? Morphological knowledge is essential for English language teachers because it directly supports both vocabulary instruction and error correction. Carliso 2000 points out that morphological awareness makes a significant contribution to vocabulary knowledge and reading comprehension, which means teachers who understand morphology can help learners expand their vocabulary more effectively. Nation 2001 further emphasized that knowledge of words, parts such as prefix, roots, or suffix enables learners to infer the meaning on unfamiliar words, an important strategy for vocabulary growth. And fourth question: what is the difference between free morphemes and bound morphemes? And can you give example of each? In morphology, morphemes are divided into free morphemes and bound morphemes. Free morphemes are morphemes that can stand alone as independent word with meaning. Example include books, dog, run, and happy. They do not require attachment to other morphemes. In contrast, bound morphemes cannot stand alone. They must attach to another morphemes in order to carry meaning. These typically include affixes such as are prefixes and suffixes. For example, the plural suffix s in dogs, the past tense suffix ed in walked, the noun forming suffix ness in happiness. For example, the plural suffix s in dogs, and the past tense suffix ed in walk, and the noun forming suffix ness in happiness, and the prefix un in unhappy. Thus, the main distinction lies in their independent free morphemes function as complete a verb, while bond morphemes only gain meaning when attached in another forms, according to Katamba 2993 and Euler 2010. Fifth question. How did morphological instruction help students in the case study presented, particularly in terms of vocabulary acquisition and grammatical accuracy? Morphological instruction has been shown to significantly support students' development in both vocabulary acquisition and grammatical accuracy. Morphological instruction also improves grammatical accuracy, particularly with inflectional morphemes that mark tense and number. Fromkin, Redman, and Hyams 2018 argue that knowledge of morphology helps second language learners overcome error with irregular forms such as praising good instead of when or childs instead of children. In case studies, when teachers explicitly highlight that morphological rules, students show greater accuracy in word formation and reduce the frequency of such errors. Thus, morphological instruction not only facilitates vocabulary and not only facilitate vocabulary growth, but also strengthens learner grammatical competence. Maybe that's all answer from me. I'm sorry for I have a mistake or error. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.